Hello, my name is Sal Davison and I'm a member of Workers' Co-op Humble Grove. As a Workers' Co-op, we all have an equal share in the company, an equal say in how we run the company, and an equal say in what we make. This helps us work according to our ethics while, hopefully, still being able to pay rent. We're a storytelling collective whose work has historically and currently taken the form of video games. In 2021, we released No Longer Home, a semi-autobiographical coming-of-age story about the precarity of graduate life. Earlier this year, we announced our follow-up, Twilight Array, a sci-fi thriller about two space scavengers uncovering the mysteries of an abandoned spaceship orbiting a destroyed planet. This is the video version of a Patreon post. If you'd like to see this in written form, links in the description. Last year, we announced our transition into a workers' co-op and the development of our sci-fi thriller, Twilight Array. So what have we been up to since? How are we managing to sustain ourselves as a small studio in the game development landscape of 2024? The too long didn't read of this is, we aren't yet. At the beginning of the year, member Hannah Lee decided to move on from Humble Grove. They were integral in the setting up of the co-op, instrumental in No Longer Home's development, and we're saddened to see them go. Since then, Beck and I have been plugging away at Twilight Array, and occasionally taking on freelance work as the co-op to help finances. No Longer Home revenue continues to trickle through, and sometimes helps us pay our wages. When we began our plans to become a co-op, all the members of the No Longer Home development team kindly and independently decided to give up their revenue for the benefit of the co-op, including those not members of the co-op, which meant that we had money to use on Twilight Array development that we otherwise wouldn't have had. Now that we're a co-op, any revenue we receive isn't split between workers and instead stays in the co-op's kitty and is used to pay workers' wages. There are no investors for profit to go to, and in theory, should we be lucky enough to have more money than we need to pay our workers, we could donate any surplus to other co-ops. As much as we love this to be our current reality, it's still but a pipe dream. And so far, Beck and I have taken pay cuts intended to be back paid. Sometimes, if we're lucky, No Longer Home revenue gets a big bump. It might be included in a bundle or do really well on the Steam sale. This could mean we're suddenly in much better finances than we have been in months. Last September, Unity, the game engine we use to make No Longer Home, decided to announce a ludicrous change to their revenue split that meant developers would have to fork over cash every time a player installed their game. They obviously didn't think that greed alone was enough to impress their investors, as they also plan to apply this to games released prior to the update in revenue policy. Unity has since partially walked us back. Update. They've now entirely walked it back. But the damage has already been done, and we, and many other developers, no longer feel we could trust them. So we decided to put our faith in another mega corporation, Epic. Yeah, I know. Open source engine Godot looks cool, but doesn't work for us for a variety of reasons. Beck and I both had a peep at Unreal Engine in the past and felt its tools would probably be a better fit for us as artists, and we were right. We had a Twilight Array Unity prototype, but it was a bit rough around the edges, and we desperately wanted to redesign the main environment. Watch out for a Patreon exclusive post on this process. By the end of February 2024, we had managed to put together enough money to hire an Unreal specialist to help us redesign and port the prototype over in Unreal. In an open call, we hired Poppy Tilbury, previously of Supermassive Games, who has been such a joy to work with. One of the many policies we have enshrined in our Articles of Association says that after hiring someone for 6 months, we legally have to offer them co-op membership. After 3 months of working with Poppy, we decided to offer her co-op membership. and gave her a month to think about it while we wrapped up work on the demo. Well, she said yes, and we're very proud to welcome Poppy as the latest member of Humble Grove. So what now, and how is Twilight Array going? We have a completed and smoother around the edges Unreal prototype, which we're very proud of, but funding opportunities for early to mid-production games are really hard to come by right now. Just as we finished our demo, UK Games Fund Content Fund, which we plan to apply for, closed their applications. We had been successful in applying for UK Games Fund Prototype Fund to make the Unity demo, so we fancied our chances again. UK Games Fund is a government-funded company, so how soon their applications might open again massively depends on how soon our pal Sir Keir Starmer, that's the UK Prime Minister, feels like funding the arts. Given his recent dystopian announcement that things have to get worse before it gets better, prospects seem gloomy. We've spoken to a few people we know about indie publishers, and given Twilight Array's current budget, i.e. paying all of our workers a livable wage, getting Steins seems very unlikely. Pitching around right now honestly seems like a waste of time. All of this has led us to make the very difficult choice to shelve the project for the time being. We'd all love to keep working on it, but the money just isn't up for grabs, and we need to keep the lights on. Instead, we're taking a step back to figure out what to do next. But starting a project of significantly smaller scope is probably where we'll start. Practically, this probably means doing something not in a 3D engine. Maybe we'll have something to tell you all about in a few months down the line. I've already been working on a pitch for a game set in Twilight Array's world, taking place a couple millennia earlier on a moon during a miners' strike with mechs. Talk soon. If you watch this video as a non-Patreon supporter, please consider supporting us. We have some exclusive posts lined up going over some of our technical and artistic processes. If that seems like the sort of thing you're interested in, and you'd like to give us a few quid each month, that'd be ace. Also, before you go, Poppy recently released Lovely Lady RPG, a convoluted branching RPG about the horror of existing in England. Made with Mia Kane, you can find it at https://d, links in the description. Thanks for watching.